Hey church, welcome to the last week of 21 days of prayer and fasting. I hope that you have been encouraged and that you've connected with Jesus, gotten his heart for your year, and feel like and know that God has heard every one of your prayers because he has. He's always listening. And so in this last week, together, I want you to know that you're connected, that we're unified as a church. And this last week, we're focusing on discipleship. We're devoted to discipleship. I want you to know that disciples walk through difficulty. We don't avoid it, we walk through it. Isaiah 43, 1 and 2 says that the one who created you says, listen, you are mine, I know you by name. I want you to know that God knows you by name and you are his. Part of the first thing about discipleship is recognizing and understanding who you belong to. That we're following Jesus, that we're not tapping in and tapping out, but that we're all in with him. And if you think about that, the second part of that verse, in verse 2, says this. It says, when you walk through the waters of difficulty, I will be with you. When you walk through deep waters, you will not drown. I think of Peter. It didn't mean that he wasn't going to sink a little bit, but God rescued him as he got out of the boat. As you step out in faith in areas in your life, I want you to know that you're not going to drown, that God is going to be with you, that he's in it with you, that you can feel his presence, know his hope, and see his victory in your life in every circumstance. I also want you to know that that doesn't mean you might not sink a little bit, but you will not drown. It says when you go through the fire, you will not be burned. When you go through the flames, it will not consume you. I want you to know that you have the victory. See, belief is all about the start of discipleship, not the end of it. There were lots of believers, but there were only a few disciples. And if you think about that, discipleship is all about following God through the tough things. It's all about knowing that trust leads to triumph. It's not always about the battles that are won as it is about the battles that have been survived with the spirit of victory. You'll look back and go, man, God did incredible things in my life, but very often it just felt like a war of attrition. But I want you to know when you look back, you'll see all the things that God planted in your life that you didn't realize because you were just going through it. You were dealing with the pain, the discomfort, the disappointment, but God was in there and he was building some things. Maybe he was tearing some things down so that he could build some things. Remember, sometimes we need to make sure that we release instead of wrestle. So I want to encourage you today and this week to be devoted to discipleship. God bless you, church.